I read in the documentation that you currently have a 14% vacancy or turnover rate in your emergency wards, is that correct? And that with the closure of the Hammersmith, that would go down to 9%.
In terms of staff?
Yes.
Yes.
So, you know, I'm not easily alarmed, but that did alarm me because that's quite a high number. I mean, 9% is high, never mind 14. So I'd like to know how you're actually going to manage that down to something that resembles an acceptable level. And secondly, it's a question I've asked the CCG before, in the sense that your urgent care centres are to be staffed by GPs. I remember telling you 6 months ago that I was being told by those in the know that there's a shortage of GPs. Lo and behold, there has been an explosion in the press about the fact that we are dramatically short of GPs, we can't find enough. So I want to know how you can assure us that you're going to have enough properly trained GPs and not pulling locums from agencies left, right and centre to ensure that we have continuity of care. So questions for David.
So the vacancy rate is higher. You're right, it will come down with the transfer in the EDs. The vacancy rate of about 9% actually mirrors then what we're working with across the trust. We actually in most wards it's not quite the ED, but in a lot of wards that's an acceptable amount. What we're then trying to do is flex the staff according to the demand in terms of the inpatients. In terms of the ED, we've got a number of recruitment campaigns going on. We are basically rolling stage of recruitment, and actually we've got a large number of starters from the last set of recruitment starting in September, might provide a number of band 5 nurses, and we become, I have to say, probably more adept in the last 3 to 6 months in actually sort of selling our wares and selling the attractions of working in Imperial. And I think that certainly we've done quite a lot of work to try and make sure that the departments are more attractive departments to work in. So I think it's a combination of trying to make the experience of working in departments demonstrably better, and also sort of widening our net and going for these much more, I guess it is the word aggressive, but sort of quite clear-sighted approaches to recruiting nursing staff. In terms of medical staff, with the exception of the middle grade rota and the Hammersmith, which Grace has already mentioned, those are largely filled, and we don't have sort of specific vacancies on those. Do you want to talk about GPs or
Absolutely.
So, I agree that the continued training and retention of GPs is important to the delivery of almost all the things we're planning. Just to say, in the immediate sense, the urgent care centre, 24-hour centre, is fully staffed. So we have the provider of general practice there has recruiters, and they are up to complement. So that, in the short term, is good. In a broader sense, we're working very closely with Health Education North West London, who strategically are increasing the number of GPs that they train year on year. We are strategically trying to keep as many of those training posts within North West London as we can, because there is a move for some of the posts to be distributed into non-London training areas. So we are fighting to increase the number of GP trainees that there are in North West London. And then I think it slightly rings true with what Tim's saying about making the jobs more attractive. We need to not only train more GPs, but we need to make their jobs something that we want to continue doing, so that we're looking at projects, for example, joint training positions. You've heard some talk about the elderly assessment unit that has proved very successful. We're looking with Henwell how we might have posts that are post-training, but designed to retain relatively newly qualified GPs within North West London and gain more experience of the wider systems approach. But it is a continuing concern.